Just about everyone on my Twitch list is streaming Starfield.
Haven't even watched anything from it yet.
Yeah, I've been trying to avoid it a bit. I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah.
I'll get it eventually, but I need to build a new computer first.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my current computer is like 9 years old, so I want to build a new one.
Oh, true.
I'm running a 980 for my graphics card, and my CPU is really starting to become my bottleneck too. So
That's my current issue is my CPU, and I can't upgrade it. So eventually, I'll need a new computer too.
Yeah, I upgraded my graphics card just for this game.
Yeah. Although I'm AMD, I'm not a cool kid like you guys.
I want it to be a case of I upgrade the game for my graphics card.
I did turn off some stuff, and now the game looks a lot better than it did in the stream.
That's good.
Yeah, I was advised to turn off motion blur,
Oh,
the
yeah.
grain thing, the grain, which I thought it looked okay, but it was weird in playing. I disabled the upscaling and the dynamic resolution and all that stuff. Volumetric lighting I turned down to medium, and now it runs really good. It looks good. So
I'm just glad it doesn't have like that brown, filter that they put over the Fallout games.
yeah. Well, I think that's what that grain kind of was supposed to be. I mean, it looks cool. It's just it I don't know. It's hard to like ignore it when you're playing.
Yeah, once you notice it, you can't stop.
Yeah, everything like blends and it looks like Guild Wars 2. It looks like weird.
Oh, no.
artwork. Yeah.
I gotta give them props, though. I haven't run into any bugs yet.
Oh, I did this weird falling through the map for a second thing, but it caught itself.
Now you jinxed it, Daedric.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna be doomed now.
517 to scanner control. 517 to scanner control.
316, report to control.
53 to upper bay door. 53 to upper bay door.
Do we want to show off like some of the POIs we've been working on, or like the build set, or anything like that?
Yeah,
Or should we leave
yeah.
that for people to find on their own?
Well, I don't know. I guess we could take a poll. See what people. I mean, yeah. I guess there's some people that like to see it live when they're playing. Maybe it's from the first time, but. I'm trying to build something for the challenge this month.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I really want to build a starter that I can live longer in. The thing I built last season, the little starter. I mean, it was cool. Like it did its job, but I ran out of cargo space so quick.
That's always the problem with a starter, is there's just not enough space for all the cargo.
Yeah. Well, you look at the Janus. Like the Janus has 4 320s, right? Like that's awesome. That'll last you a long time.
Are we live?
Yeah, that's why I said pre-stream.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Jeez. Get with
Come
the
on,
program,
man.
Filbert.
What are we doing?
Oh,
It's
sorry.
like
I don't
Sligo,
know.
man.
Sorry. I'm not a professional.
Stop living under your rock.
Yeah. I know. Jay still doesn't get it either. He's like, wait, I'm like, Jay, we're in the live channel. We're live. Oh, but are you live? Yep. Yeah, I built a whole miner in SE. I got like a little like hydro auger, like the same size and everything. It's pretty cool. It works. Pretty proud of it. Got a bunch of ice with it and stuff.
Always nice.
Yeah. It came out with that decorative pack 3 too, like I think yesterday or something, as well as the Warfare 2 pack. So. I don't know, man. Like I'm overwhelmed right now with all the game stuff that I want to play. It's kind of overwhelming. Like I'm pretty much done with Astroneer. I think I'm good there. Like I mean, there's some stuff I could play around with, but content-wise, I'm done. But even Green Hell, like I haven't been paying attention to Green Hell for a while. They got a bunch of stuff in there now. There's like tree houses, there's elevators, there's
You can play it in VR now too.
I have it for VR. Yeah, dude, that's intense. But I got really frustrated trying to make a bow. You could just see me like just doing all kinds of flailing around with my arms trying to figure shit out. Like, and VR makes you, I don't know. I get tired because you're just standing the whole time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it gets to you after a while.
Yeah, this whole next month is really wild for game releases. Like
Oh
we've
my
got a lot
God.
of big ticket items all coming out within like a week of one another.
Yeah, like everybody's fighting for that holiday or whatever, you know.
I guess.
Oh, my time's been tied up with a game called Foxhole. It's a persistent world warfare game.
Yeah, that one looks
You said
wild.
something about that, yeah.
It's interesting.
Nice. And then Icarus with all the stuff they came out with, like,
Yeah.
they came out with more stuff. They came out with wind turbines. Yesterday.
I saw that. Yeah, that's a good change. I was hoping they'd put those in.
Yeah.
Garmin saying Baldur's Gate picked the perfect time to come out.
Yeah, they really did.
Yeah, that was smart. I haven't gone beyond making my character yet. Lots of things, lots of things. Alright, I guess we can kind of start.
I guess.
If we
I should
must.
have. Oh, you know what? I should have announced it in stream, right?
Should
Let
have.
me announce it in the Discord. Kind of important. I made a little event thing. You saw the little event thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Popped
made
up
an event
when
thing.
it was starting.
Oh, that yeah. There you go. Well, this is gonna like double down on that. I gotta fix this O thing for my keyboard. It's driving me nuts. Where every time I type O, it types 3 of them or something.
Really?
Making me crazy. Yeah, I've taken the letter off. It's nothing that's like in there or anything. So I've
think
updated the software, the drivers or whatever. Like,
You think the Switch just wore out?
maybe, I don't know. So when I press it with some real, you know, like authority, it just does 1-0. But when I do like the little flick type, it does like 3. You know, so I gotta like, yeah, I gotta like cock back my finger and press O for it to just do 1. Hey guys, what's going on? Excalibur here, and we are back. Anvil Reforged in Community Server, Season 7. Let's talk. I am here with our admin team. I don't have my overlay, but we have Filbert. Farmer, we have Dadrick, we have Darkest Warrior. I believe Bossman's in here as well. Is that everybody? I can't see. I think it's everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's everybody. So yeah, today we are going to be going over the season 7 as far as settings, as far as content, as far as some of the things that we're bringing into season 7 that we didn't have in season 6 or prior. We're going to be talking about how we're going to be building on some of the things that worked in season 6, like the ASF and the AMIC.
Welcome to X.
We're going to be talking about, general settings. We're going to be talking about when to expect season 7 to relatively start. I don't think we're going to give an official start date quite yet, but we will discuss, kind of when that's going to be, as well as some other things. Commando, thanks for that 36-month resub. 12/24. That's 3 years. Wow. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. So, so I will also, full disclosure, I don't know anything. So, I'm useless right now. So I'm just kind of here to share the platform with the important people. Those that have taken hours and hours and weeks and months to compile new content for us to play with in Season 7. So big hype to our content admin team, our server management team, those that have taken a lot of time to bring us some new stuff here for Season 7. So I guess we'll start with, should we start with Filbert?
Yeah, I can start talking with the AMEC and ASF.
Nice.
So obviously those are returning. The AMEC, the biggest change there is going to be that you're always going to be delivering to the co-op zone. There won't be different planets. You're not going to be sent to high gravity planets anymore. None of that. Just to make it easier for everybody to participate from wherever they want to be in the galaxy. And then expect similar, item challenges and stuff progressing as you go through the season, from basic stuff to a little more complex stuff. So that's the AMEC, pretty much the same. The ASF, we're looking to change that up a little bit. Last season when we introduced the ASF missions, they were solo, and it was a solo Iron Man basically, and that seemed to kind of interfere with a lot of the regular way that streamers like to play. A lot of you guys like to play with a buddy or a couple of people. So all of the ASF missions in Season 7 will be open to group play. You can do it in a group of up to 4 people. You can still do them solo if you want, but you are also welcome to play them with a group of up to 4 people. And the way that'll work from a practical sense is one of the 4 people has to be a streamer, so that you have to have a recording of you running the mission. You have to show your kill count and death count at the start and end of the stream. And only one of you has to be a streamer. So non-streamers who've wanted to try these missions but haven't been able to, now you can.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so expanding it out a bit. And then the other thing with that, so that we don't penalize people and keep them from wanting to bring in other players, it's also a solo pass-fail. So if one person in a group of 4 were to die in a POI, that person's done. They have to stop. They can't continue that run. They can get their backpack, but then they have to leave. But the other 3 could keep going. You don't fail everyone when one person dies.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, because the idea there is that you might have people reluctant to take on other players as group mates who may not have the same skill level or whatever, for fear that they could cause the whole team to fail. So,
dude, that was me every week with Jay. I'm kidding. No, I'm kind of kidding.
So that was the idea, just to kind of expand it a bit. Similar missions to last season, only I'll try to make them a little bit more difficult on account of it can be open to bigger groups, but still accessible. But yeah, it should be a lot of fun. So that's the main change with the ASF. So both those 2 are returning. And then I don't know if Darkest and Daedric, if you guys want to talk about some of the server config changes and Blade faction changes that you guys have been working on.
So hold on.
And then,
so the AMIC thing, what's changing there?
Mostly, so last season we had it set to where you'd get an item, and then you'd get a vessel type, and you get a destination, and the destinations changed for delivery.
Right.
This season we're just going to make it so that every week you deliver to the co-op zone.
Okay.
So that way you don't have to be so close, because a lot of the destinations were in Anvil space, so it made it hard for people who settled somewhere else to participate.
Right.
So if it's all through a tether, you can tether to the spot from anywhere to drop off your ship. The vessel types will still change; that'll get mixed up, but it'll all be the same destination. So again, just trying to increase participation, make it easier for people.
Very cool. So I guess the other big thing
So
is that
I don't know if Darkest, if you and Daedric want to talk a bit about your config changes you've been working on, the general config changes and stuff, and then I can talk about the starters after.
Sure. I'll jump in here first, Daedric, I guess.
Okay.
So first big change, the scenario is getting a slight rename for Season 7. It is no longer going to be Project A Civil War. It is now changing to Project A Scorched Earth.
Ooh.
So there'll be a couple new
Scorched Earth. Nice.
visuals to this, new loading screens, about all that kind of stuff. As for server changes and configs, I'll start with one of the questions that I did see in the Discord at one point. Repair will be still set to instant from the start of the season. This will be to just help facilitate that people can actually use repair bays, because we all know how that goes throughout the season. People try to use them, they have to babysit them for hours and hours on end. So we're just gonna nip it in the butt right from the start, and we'll start with instant repair right from the start.
Nice. Hey, Filbert, I'm also we're watching you live, so I don't know if you want to move around or dance or something.
Well, I did. I'm looking at mine. I moved, and yours hasn't updated. I'm watching your
Oh,
stream too,
okay,
so I don't
weird.
know what's going on there. Yeah.
So yes, Garaman, that also means instant factory with instant repair. With that being said, change to the factory. We will be turning on the new factory setting. So you will have to have the items unlocked in the tech tree before you can spawn a blueprint in with those items in it. We'll try this out. We'll see how it goes. If we notice too many issues, then the admin team will discuss and we'll move forward on another course of action with that. But for the time being, expect that setting to be on when the season starts. I think those are the two major server-side ones. So Daedric, I'll throw it over to you first, and I'll think and see if there's anything else I forgot.
What about the two big config changes to gameplay?
Whoa, hold on. Okay, you guys.
With
This
SVs and
is
CVs.
a.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on, guys. Hold on.
Oh.
You can hear me? Mic check. Mic
Yes.
check.
Can now.
Yeah.
Okay, hold
Yep.
on. Let me get my thing. You guys are turning this into a 10-minute stream. Hold on. hold on. Let me because I can't something's wrong here. I'm not seeing Filbert at all, but it's my fault. It's something to do with me. So for Stan and for oh, my mic's low. Okay, I'll work on that too. Hold on. Give me a second here. I don't understand why this isn't scaling properly.
Because Filbert broke it.
Yeah. You guys can hear me now or no?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's weird when I'm in OBS. A lot of times Jay can't hear me. So, alright, fit to screen.
The hamsters
correct,
are on vacation.
I don't understand what's going on here. Discord. Yeah, I can't. I should be seeing your screen, but I'm not.
You want me to try and close and reopen my stream thing?
No, I don't think it's you. I think. Oh, there we go. Now it's working. Oh, okay. It was on the wrong monitor. Alright, so
Oh, well,
now
that would do
now
it.
we see. Now we see.
So
So can we? Yeah, Darkest. Can we do a quick oversight not oversight. Can we just go over some of the key points we already discussed as far as the changes?
Yeah. So I'll give it to Filbert first to go over the quick recap of the AMIC and ASF, I guess.
Sorry, Phil.
Okay. No worries. So the AMEC is basically going to remain. It's going to stay the same. The biggest change there is that you'll be delivering to the co-op zone every week. So no changes needed for chasing down different planets. You can participate from anywhere in the galaxy by using the co-op tether. The other change would be with the ASF. The ASF missions are going to change from solo Iron Man to group missions. It's still an Iron Man in that you have to complete the mission without dying, but your pass-fail will be you individually. So if a group member dies, it won't fail you. Also, only one person in the group will need to be a streamer. So anyone who's been a non-streamer who's been wanting to participate, partner up with somebody or find a streamer who wants to stream you doing it, however you want to do it, you can now participate in those missions. You just need to stream the whole thing and have whoever's streaming it show everybody in the group's kill count, death count at the beginning and end to kind of record that they completed it without dying. If somebody dies, they can still complete the mission, but like before, they have to run a different POI somewhere else. They can't rerun that same one. And if one person in the group does die, they have to leave the POI after they get their black backpack. So you can't use them as fodder to absorb bullets for you.
Right. But this basically allows, like you said, it allows people to participate that aren't streamers or aren't necessarily even playing with that faction. I mean, you could probably just group up in the co-op zone and do some of these missions. Now it's 4 men, or sorry, not men, but four people only, right? Like it doesn't go more than
that's the max 4.
Max
so you
4,
can
right.
have less. You can run them solo. You can, do 2 or 3 or whatever. But yeah, I had to cap it at something because
Of course.
if you open it up, it's hard to balance them.
APE will go in there like 20 strong, be like, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Jen, you're not allowed to participate this season. Men only.
Yeah, sorry.
Filbert?
Yeah.
Real quick, I think we discussed this in the admin, but I don't think you just brought it up. If 4 people run, then you have to do it 4 times, right? For everybody to get the challenge?
No, everybody just has to finish the mission together
Okay.
without dying. If you, as an individual, die, then you're out. You get your backpack and leave the POI. You can still do the mission again. You just have to run it on a different POI, and you still have to find someone to stream you. Now, your group that's already completed it, they can run it again with you if you want, or you can find someone else. But that's up to whoever has died if they want to keep trying to figure that out.
Thank you.
Very
Yep.
nice.
And I'll write this all down when we post the first ASF mission brief, so you got it all in text.
I think the biggest thing too with season 7 in comparison to season 6 is we're gonna have these planned out a lot further in advance. So as far as the AMIC, as far as the missions, they're gonna be I mean, and I think it ran really well in season 6, but at the same time, it's gonna be a lot less work for the admin team, Buko, and especially those that have been compiling and doing that. There's just gonna be that. Where it's not necessarily gonna be like we had some of those custom AMIC things, like the little hammy, what was it? Little hammy soldier kit.
Yeah, like the soldier kit and the engineer kit.
Yeah. They'll be doing a lot of stuff like that, and kind of the same deal, but they'll be thought out in advance, and it'll progress as needed based on the storyline. Scorched Earth, which I know nothing about. I just heard that for the first time too. So
Yeah, and I'll come out with a newsletter thing at the start of the season that kind of will talk about the RP for anyone who cares about.
in the Andromeda weekly.
And yeah, Andromeda Galactic News. Yeah.
Hey, all right.
Just if somebody is looking for an explanation of why Civil War is still ongoing or whatever.
Right. Very cool.
Yeah.
So that was kind of where we left off there, Stan. So I think you're pretty much current. And anybody else that joined up recently here? up to current now. So, as far as the settings, Darkest.
Yep. So setting wise, big one. We'll be starting the season with instant repair on, which also means instant factory on. Just in the past, there's been so many issues with repair bays not working, and people are requesting us to fix them, and there's not much we can do for it. So we'll just start with instant on, and that should allow you to be able to actually make use of repair bays throughout the season. Next big change is the new factory setting that was added a couple updates ago. We will be turning that on at the start of the season, so you will need the items unlocked in the tech tree in order to spawn in your blueprint.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah. Oh God.
Dun
So that will
dun
be-
dun.
So don't waste all your unlock points on meaningless stuff if you're planning on bringing in HV or SV or anything like that.
And really, that aligns with the challenge this month anyway, right? So you guys should be thinking in that
So,
capacity.
Oh,
of
lost
building.
him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're muted.
I'm muted? Oh, it was that OBS thing. You hear me now?
Still can't hear you.
Mike. Really? Mike.
You're muted on Discord.
Mike.
There you go.
There
Hey.
you go.
Mike. Can you
Somebody
hear me
asked real quick. No, the size class restrictions are going to still be
Can you hear
at,
me now?
what is it, 21?
I thought it was
So-
12.
No, 21.49.
Mike. You guys can't hear me in Discord? Mike.
I
Hey.
can't hear you.
Discord sucks, dude. Alright.
Can't hear you in
Hello?
Discord.
Yeah, like, push to talk's not working. Oh. Mike. Mike. No.
A little microphone symbol in the bottom right. Oh, that's Filbert's. Never mind.
No, it's a keyboard thing. Hold on.
Wait, am I causing problems?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. That happens
It's a
sometimes.
keyboard thing. I don't know. Ah. Mike.
We got
I don't know.
an-
I think I don't understand this keyboard. I think that's what it is. I just don't understand it because it disconnects randomly, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's like it's wireless, right? But I have it plugged in. But I think I just need to plug it back into the computer and stop trying to be wired. Yeah, it just doesn't work. It's annoying. All right.
All right. Can I go ahead and carry on with some of the
Please,
other
please do.
changes
Please
there?
do.
Oh.
Please. Somebody tell him I
Or
said.
did we
please
not? Did we lose him again?
Yeah, he's still muted on Discord. He said go ahead.
All right. So the next big change is CV salvage turrets. So these will now be usable on planets, but only the CV. I guess it's multi-tool is what it's actually referred to.
Multi-turret, yeah.
Yeah, the CV multi-turret will be usable on planets, but not the CV drill turrets. So this should help with a little bit of salvage operations on planet and make things a little bit easier in that sense. The next change is for SVs. You will now be able to put the HV clone chambers onto SVs as well. So that will be another change that we'll be bringing in and seeing how that works out. Both these changes are subject to change. If we run into
you hear me
issues,
now?
example, if SVs start missing giant chunks of blocks out of them, the clone
Mike.
chambers will possibly leave.
Darkest, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yay! All right, I plugged it into the computer. Now it's doing things. Sorry.
So,
Yay!
so yeah,
Salvage! Oh my god, I'm so excited for that, dude. To be able to hover over a POI and just wreck it with a CV salvage turret. Oh my god. Can we demonstrate that? Is that a thing you can demonstrate right now or no?
if Filbert is in
Yeah.
Project A, he could.
Yeah,
Is he?
I'm in my local copy, but it's updated.
Ooh. Let me go full screen with it.
Uh,
That's
I think that has a multi-turret.
You have thermal burns, and it wasn't my fault.
Yeah,
was it?
I was testing that other planet and I got shot a lot.
Oh, I thought you were gonna tell me you got a sunburn.
That's something. I know we're kind of jumping ahead here, but that's something we're going to need to change there, Darkest.
No.
I see that triggered an attack. That's not intended.
Not intended for you.
Yeah. So you just continue talking amongst yourselves. I'll figure this out.
oh.
We'll give you a demonstration here in a second.
Well, your CV is going to be boomed anyways, so.
It's fine. I'm going to a different one. I got to find something to salvage.
So yes, so CV salvaging, SV clone chambers. Don't think there's any other blocks that we changed what they could be placed on.
You mentioned the SV stuff?
Just the SV clone chambers.
Perfect. Okay.
Beyond that, before I guess I'll throw it over to Daedric for more config changes, and then we can come back and touch on to new stuff that's being added.
Yeah, okay. So let's see here. I'm trying to pull my list up, and Discord decided not to cooperate. Well, for one thing, what we've done is we've gone into the config files and we've made it so that all of the planetary POIs, you won't see any like level 9 POIs anymore. They've all been dialed down, so you should only see like levels 2 or 3 at most. Which means you shouldn't be walking in and getting annihilated by some shotgun guy right away.
And this is just for blade POIs, correct?
Yes. Yep.
So you will still find level 9 and 10 of other POIs, but you only find like low-level blade POIs now.
Yep. There will be more planets for you to go out there, like more systems, so more planets to go and find. What else did we do? We're working on a bunch of new POIs to add. I put together a build set, kind of like the ones that Vermilion uses for his POIs that he puts together. So should be a bunch of new POIs that we'll be adding that will all be pretty consistent in like their aesthetics, and it'll give you some new stuff to go and play with.
So it appears that the retrieve block setting is what now works on planets. So you can salvage with a CV multi-turret using the retrieve blocks setting on planet. So yeah.
Oh, good.
Cool.
It works.
Yep.
Let's see. We're planning to add a new like tier 0 hamster loot box. So we're kind of tweaking the loot you're getting out of some of the POIs. You'll get more hamster stuff and less of the other filler stuff that was a bit of an issue this previous season. We're going to be adding bounty tokens to a bunch of the orbital patrol vessels that you can acquire if you disable the vessel and board it, and kill the kill the crew. You can get your hands on one of these tokens, and then you can go and turn it in for some credits and a reward.
So Stan is saying multi-turret unlock points have been raised to 500 to counter this. What are we countering, Stan?
Yeah, you're still we can't hear you there.
You still can't hear me? Mike,
No,
what?
I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. No, Stan was saying multi-turret unlock points have been raised to 500 to counter this, right? But what are we countering?
Nothing.
Yeah, I don't think so.
From a CV is what they're claiming.
Yeah, so what's OP about salvaging from a CV? I think once you core a POI, once you invest whatever you invested in attacking a POI and taking it down, I don't see why you need to be punished with hours and hours of salvaging. And I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I've only salvaged maybe 2 POIs a season. Like once I do it, oh, Stan was joking. Okay, I never know when Stan's joking. He always seems so. I don't know. I never know when he's joking. For me, I think the investment of time, the investment of ammo and meds and food and all these things it takes to attack a POI and core it, to then be faced with 3 or 4 hours of salvage is just messed up. I think it's ridiculous. And I think this change is gonna, otherwise it's just sitting there anyway. I don't see the downside of listen, I'm sure people can cheese POIs and quickly salvage things, and more power to you guys. It's not hurting anybody else. Those POIs are gonna sit there derelict anyway, so I don't see the problem.
One other change that comes to mind here is we've reworked the way the Blade faction system works, so you get Anvil rep now for killing like Blade NPCs.
Which is awesome.
Wait, you what now? You get faction rep for Anvil faction.
For
rep,
Anvil,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. SV salvagers. So the SV salvagers are cool, but you don't get full blocks. You don't even get the option. Like I think it'd be cool if we had the option to get full blocks, and then we had to make a crazy big SV that can handle that weight. That would be a fun building challenge. But at the end of the day, the salvage in this game is very basic, and it's pretty lame anyway. So I don't see the problem with. And then honestly, I think it would sprout some cool salvage CV builds, perhaps. I mean, I'm sure people are gonna put their big capital vessel above and just go nuts, but hopefully some people, build like salvage specific CVs that are a little smaller but have a good amount of cargo.
Yeah, Stan, Blade ships in space outside of Blade space are still Warlord faction.
Yeah,
That's
they kind
just
of
the
have
reality.
to work that way. Yeah. It's a limitation of the game.
I just had an idea. What if we make it so you have to deconstruct whole blocks to get parts when you salvage?
What?
So like, what if you had to use deconstructors to get parts out of salvage? Like you couldn't.
So you remove the ability to use the salvage beam on multi-turrets and multi-tools?
Yeah. For vessels. Maybe not like your multi-tool, but I don't know. Then that would be cool. Then you'd have to build something that deconstructs, and it just makes it makes salvage a little more meaningful, because then you have to worry about weight. You have to worry about some of these things, but at the same time, you have the ability to use a CV. So maybe.
Yeah, Garriman's pointing out potential issue there. There are some blocks that you can't remove, like the advanced core or like RTGs.
Right.
And that may be an issue.
True.
What, that the salvage thing will let you remove it now?
Well, no, if you set it to where you could only remove blocks, right now you can salvage those things. I'm wondering if you set it to only retrieve blocks, if it would let you retrieve those as blocks. If I don't even know if that's possible.
That's true, Flag. That's true. It's just an idea, guys. I just threw it out there. Don't mind me.
I mean, that's kind of reminds me of when we tried doing the having to put whole blocks in the factory thing, and I really liked how that played. It just it ended up not being possible to do it right because of a setting in the game, unfortunately.
Just as we were here and when Filbert was testing, I just noticed the one thing. So you'll be able to disassemble and deconstruct with this the CV salvage on planet. I just missed one config setting for it. So
okay, yeah. So you'll be able to do both. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Sorry, I know it's probably boring to stare at one spot, but I feel like it's a pretty good looking view. So
it is.
Was there anything else on the Blade config side?
So Garriman just asked a question. Question regarding the bounty tokens they drop from enemies on OPVs, not in a box like the Bandit Raider ships? Question mark.
I
That-
think they will drop. Oh, sorry, Phil.
Oh, I was just going to say, I think that's how we were going to set them up, wasn't it?
I thought we were going to set it to drop from the like we were going to have an NPC on the ship, like
Right.
you know.
I haven't done that yet. That's as soon as I finish this project. But yes,
Yeah,
I will
but
go through and update all the OPVs. And add, I think we were going to go with commanders and lieutenants or something like that, 2 different
yeah,
levels.
There's going to
Um,
be 2 possible NPCs on ships, rank or
And-
name to be determined.
and
when you
POIs
kill
as
them,
well.
yes, POIs as well. When you kill them, it will be part of their loot group. We're creating a new loot group just for those NPCs, and they'll have the possibility of having the bounty tokens on them.
yeah. So if you go a trigger happy, you'll kill them and you'll get nothing.
Right. Or if you just demolish the ship, you'll get nothing. Like if you core it instead of actually boarding it and clearing it. So it's an incentive to, try a different strategy maybe. Was there anything else from the Blade Collective side? I don't remember.
I know Daedric briefly mentioned about more planets. Just to touch on this a bit, Blade Space is slightly bigger this season with more planets, and Anvil Space is slightly smaller this season. This is all to do with part of the Civil War and the Scorched Earth and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, and yeah, you're right. You will find Blade on more planets now.
Did you want to talk or mention the construction kit? I can spawn it in here if you want.
That, or I'm streaming it, whatever you want to do.
It's probably easy to switch over to a Daedric stream there, X.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Uh
You can come back to me.
oh. All right, stand by.
More technical issues.
Yes, I am using you again, mouse. It's fine. I don't need a Windows ding for it. Jesus.
And also to Oni-chan, they will be in POIs too. So if you want the tokens and stuff, you can also just try running some POIs.
all right.
Yeah,
See,
so I created a whole
You guys can hear me,
like
right?
POI construction kit here. So you got a bunch of pieces that are all meant to interlock with one another, and you can use them to cobble together some POIs very quickly.
So you will be seeing some new actual Blade style, their own custom thing, thanks to Daedric's awesome work there.
Yeah, which also means some of the POIs that we had just basically recolored and repurposed from other factions will slowly be getting replaced with Blade specific POIs. Thanks to Daedric's hard work on this construction kit.
Freaking
Yeah.
awesome, man.
Yeah, so the ones that you looked at a second ago, those were the old POIs, and now you're looking at the new ones.
I really like that one.
Those look really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy with how they're coming together so far. They're looking pretty good.
I need to stop taking on other things. I want to make some of these POIs out of your build set now. That looks so good.
Ain't nobody said you had to blow them up.
That's half the fun.
Yeah, those look great. I love the little electric wall topper barrier thing.
Yeah.
Okay, man.
So those are the 4 I got going right now. Planning on having more. All depends on how much time I'm able to get. But they go together real quick when you got this thing to work from.
Wow. Very, very cool.
And it might even be something that once we've ironed out the kinks and all that with this construction kit, we still have to talk about, but we may release it out. And if people want to try to build some stuff to submit, we may. We have to decide and talk about that down the road.
That would be cool. And then we're also adding, I think there's 2 new OPVs in there as well for the Blade. Technically, they were added last season, but all the playfields have been discovered, so no one ended up seeing them.
Oh. Now, is that something we want to show, or?
No, those don't need to be shown. It's fine.
Oh,
People
okay.
will find them.
All right, all right. Yeah, it looks so good. I thought I was playing Starfield right now.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, you nailed it. Those are great POIs.
Yeah, something to look forward to.
I love that they have their own style now too.
Yeah.
Like nothing against what we did before, but we were pressed for time.
Dan's asking some kind of weird technical question.
On
about
the Supremacy Dread, was the heavy beam laser count reduced from 4 to 2?
I don't know if we've even
Not
touched that one yet.
Yeah, I've never touched the Supremacy. Other than to check it.
So let's use this opportunity to talk about the time between the end of season 6, which was technically yesterday, and the beginning of season 7. Like, what's a how much time are we looking at roughly, and why is that time needed?
We have a tentative start date.
Oh, is that something we want to put out?
I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I don't know. Darkest with the server guy, he's more the boss of that.
Yeah.
But Carlos, the server guy, it's more.
Well, yeah.
I mean, we can say the tentative date, but it has to be understood that it is a tentative date and subject to change until we get closer when we can actually confirm 100%.
Yeah.
All right.
So if we want to release it, we can. Otherwise, hang tight and give it a couple weeks.
I say we tell them.
Do you guys want to hear it? Let me know in the chat. Blast the chat. Tentative start date, or do we want to be surprised?
August 2024.
Let's go. Yeah, go ahead and say it.
Gilbert.
Yeah, so tentatively, the 29th of September is what we're looking at. That's what we're hoping to get everything ready for by then. But again, subject to a lot of stuff with the technical side on server setup, subject to merging, because we've also got another big elephant in the room, which is the War and Industry update for Reforged Eden. That is supposedly coming out the week after Starfield's official launch, which is the 6th of September.
So this week Starfield will come out, and the RE update, War and Industry, should be next week.
Yeah. So after that comes out, we then have, Darkest has to merge our Project A with Reforged Eden and make sure it all plays nice. So that can take an indeterminate amount of time. That's one of the things. Also, server hardware maintenance, technical stuff I don't understand. That also takes time. So lots of things that can adjust or impact the actual start date. But that's our plan.
Very cool. So yeah, that's not too far away, guys. So in that time that you guys have here with the tentative start date, roughly 27 days. What still needs to be done? What's the I mean, I don't need specifics, but I just want people to understand why there's that space in time.
So I can run through basically what happens at the end of every season and why it's usually a 2 to 3 week prep time, downtime for us to switch seasons. So upon completion of a season, generally we make a backup of the server just to hang on to in case we need to pull something from it. At that point, Krellis normally does a complete format on the server, wipes everything back to bare bones, reinstalls Windows, whatever programs, anything that he needs to. He installs the server, and then at that point, he'll pass it off to myself, Vollinger, and Bossman, and we'll go in, we'll do the server setups, the configs. We'll work towards doing the optimizations that we do on the server to help run it as great as it does. Once we're all happy on the server management side that everything's good to go, then we pass it over to the content team to make sure that all the latest changes are into the Project A scenario, and then we load it up on the server. At this point, it's time that the admins, as many that are available, will jump in and start testing some of the new stuff we added. And this is where we'll do a week to 2 weeks of testing and tweaking, fixing things such as OPVs, POIs, spawners, anything you can think of. And when the admin team are satisfied that enough of the content is tested, most of the bugs are all ironed out and everything, we will do a wipe of the server, and we will go into a final admin testing, which usually runs for a couple days to a week. And at the end of this week, when we are satisfied, the server's wiped, and then the final preparations are done for season launch. So it's the downtime is basically all the reformatting, setup, and it's all done around the schedule of those that are doing it. So all of us have real life, we have jobs, so we try to make it fit in around there. So the 2 to 3 weeks time just gives us a nice cushion to not stress out and give us adequate time to get through everything. And Flake, to answer your question, yes, season 7 will be on the same host as season 6 was.
Which worked out really well.
Yeah. There's a lot of
also,
behind the scenes stuff that happened too that made everything run smoother.
Yeah, we did a lot of changes in season 6 throughout the season to try to help improve things. We've got that narrowed down for season 7, so right off the bat, season 7 should run pretty good right off the bat. Not good.
And one other thing with what Darkus said that will cause our, why we have such a long period between end of 6 and start of 7. There is some other content we haven't gotten to yet in the stream that needs to be tested by admins that will take a little bit longer than some of the other testing normally does. But we'll get to that in a minute.
Oh.
Adric, are you running the latest Project A?
Not in this world I have open here, but I mean I have it downloaded.
So
I
Filbert,
am. Yeah.
do you want to show them on stream first, or do you want to show through the menu first?
I'll just show them on
changes?
stream. I mean, I'm already
Perfect.
here, so it's fine. I'll just sector to the different places.
All right, we're watching you. We're watching you, Filbert.
Okay, so one thing I wanted to just mention quickly here. So our goal as the content team is to make awesome content for our community first, right? We're all about Anvil. But we also are kind of aware that all of our content is built on top of RE. So we had a little brief conversation earlier about wanting to share some of what we've created with Raven and Vermilion to help them out and take work off of their backs to expand their content. So a couple of seasons ago, we made 32, I think it was, new wrecks for the Colonist Scrapyards. We offered those up to Raven. He seemed like he really liked it and appreciated it. Those are going to be added in the War and Industry update. So even if you're not on Project A server or Anvil server, just in RE, all those wrecks will be in there for everyone now,
Awesome.
which is kind of cool. So where we can, I know a lot of what we do is Anvil specific, like our hamster stuff and our Blade Collective. That obviously doesn't make sense in the rest of RE. But where we can, we want to help out when we have content that we've made that we think could benefit the scenario because, we want to contribute as well. So just a little side note, we're not just doing it for us, we're doing it for wherever we can do to help everyone. So to that end, one other thing that is coming in Season 7 that I've been working on for like a month and a half now are a series of new starter planets. Now that's kind of a good news, bad news, because we're at the limit of starter planets. So some of the existing ones have to be replaced to add new ones. So this first one that we're on, this is where I am right now, is called Elysium. It is a tropical starter planet. This replaces Taladar. So if you are a Taladar fan, I apologize. Taladar is dead. But
Dead.
this is a pretty cool planet to take its place. The premise here is sort of like Green Hell, if you ever played Green Hell. So you're in a beautiful tropical paradise, but it's filled with hostile alien natives. Basically, if you've ever wanted to go to war with the Talon, but not risk your Talon rep or rep with everyone else, this is the starter for you. They are all alien faction. They are everywhere. You'll find patrols in the jungle. It's a totally unique experience. I had an absolute blast testing this one. I think it'd be a lot of fun. It's not especially hard. They're not shooting at you with bullets. They're shooting at you with crossbow bolts that you can like step aside to dodge. So it's really not hard. But I had a lot of fun with it. And in making it, I modified an existing tropical planet, changed some of the atmosphere colors so you get these cool sunsets and sunrises. And then I updated it with all of Vermilion's new RG2 Talon POIs. So it uses the new updated villages and desert stuff and woodland stuff.
Oh, wow.
So it looks really cool. That POI I was looking at earlier. Oh, wait a minute. I can find one of these cool ones.
Phil spent a lot of time. These things look fucking gorgeous. It doesn't even look like Empyrean.
So this is one of his amazing new RG2 POIs that's in here. It's a granary, so much better than the original one. And because, again, these are hostile, you can actually fight these, which most people never have. Some of them are easy. Some of them have ballistas and stuff and are hard. Like the Ziggurat, it's got a lot of ballistas protecting it.
Right.
So it's a totally unique experience, not like anything I personally have ever experienced playing through testing it. I had a lot of fun. And yeah, you can see you're going to run into these guys all over.
That's so cool. Jay's going to love that.
It's a lot of fun. I highly recommend this one. And that was another motivation for doing these was we noticed that there were a lot of starters that occupied a starter slot, but that no one was playing. And so we thought if we could take some of those and fill them with new planets, that maybe we could help spread people out a bit more too. So there's kind of an added benefit here.
Stan's asking if there's Talon drone base attacks on the planet.
I haven't tested that because I haven't actually made a base on this planet myself. That's one of the things we'll be testing. They should.
Yeah.
It should be. I don't want to spoil anything, but I did use some of the base attack stuff for some things, and so you may come across some stuff you've never experienced randomly. So when you're in the jungle, beware. Also, to keep with the sort of green hell nature of this, I may be going the wrong way. When it gets late at night, it gets kind of dark. Like a bit eerie dark.
Oh, yeah.
So you need a flashlight. I also liked that for the atmospherics. It makes nighttime a little more scary, a little more sketchy, a little more of that sort of ambience to fight. And there's one of those things I was mentioning going off in the distance. So lots of stuff to enjoy and experience and challenge yourself with. So that's Elysium.
Hey Giuseppe, I'm not able to stream live on YouTube and Twitch at the same time, but I will upload this to YouTube after, so you'll be able to watch it on YouTube after with the translation and stuff.
So this is the next new starter. As we went down the list, we saw that Ninguez, however you say it, was one that rarely gets used. It's a snow starter. It does have the core missions, but there are other better planets you can run them on. So in my book, it was primed to be replaced, and this is the planet that will be replacing it. This is what I call a boreal starter. You could think of it, if you don't mind an oxymoron, as a cold temperate starter. It is cold in temperature, and it is dominated by bamboo forests. And this kind of like blue-red color scheme going on. It's got some atmospherics with the fog. There's some mountains with glacier caps to them. Just a totally unique sort of biome set here that I don't think anyone's ever experienced. Narratively, this planet is home to a contest, shall we say, hosted by a warlord that is a survival skills contest. This one is more, if you've ever read The Most Dangerous Game, you can kind of think that.
Hunger
If
Games.
you know or Hunger Games, yeah. For the scenario of what you're going to run into here. It's another one that's going to be combat oriented. You're going to run into bad guys in the bamboo forests. You're going to run into unique POIs that you've never seen before. So some different kind of environmental stuff, but you can see what I mean. I mean, it's a thick bamboo cover on a lot of this, and it creates some really cool settings to play in. It can also be a bit hectic because, again, trying to achieve that sense of sort of terror and dread. At night, it gets dark, as it should at night. Flashlights are your friends, and there are hostile people hunting you, so you have to be aware of that. The other thing is, because it is a boreal cold temperate starter, it does get cold here, so you still have to contend with the cold. But if you have armor and a little heater, that's enough to counteract it. It's not extreme cold like on Ninguez. Resources. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, Dan was just asking normal resource levels.
Yeah, all of these are based off of kind of the standard copper, iron, silicon. They are not going to be large, medium deposits. They're going to be small with an occasional medium. They will also have promethium on them. The other thing with this one, fitting in the narrative, if I can, let me run the map command here. You will find a lot of the POIs on this planet are floating in the sky. This one in particular is called a jammer. This is what is preventing you from using the factory on this planet, except for HVs. So you can spawn HVs as much as you want from the factory, but you have to build everything else from scratch. Now, that only applies to this planet. Once you get into orbit and moons and stuff, you can do whatever you want. So it's not that big of a restriction, but as a part of the, quote unquote competition on the planet, it's jamming that ability. That's kind of the idea. And you can see, some of these are new POIs that I made from other things. These are little defense POIs that kind of orbit around it.
Airman says, so a big HV ramp to launch a fast HV into orbit. Got it.
Yeah. Some of them you can see are POIs that I've actually shared with the Blade Collective channel. This is a little hunting stand you can use to get elevation and hunt, or that people can use to hunt you. You'll also find on this planet, in keeping with the sort of Hunger Games theme, supply caches. But be aware, when you go to a supply cache, you may not be the only person who's out there looking for those. So in the Hunger Games fashion, those are places where you may be at risk. So something to consider. But yeah, that's Kaguya. It's a little different. It's a unique planet.
Do you want to mention, I don't think you did on the last one, starter missions on these ones?
Oh, yeah. So Elysium has no missions, just like Taladar. And Garriman, I really wanted to do that, but that's not something that we've ever really done, and that felt like a bridge too far. So it's still PvE, no PvP. You will run into other contestants, though. This one does have its own custom mission chain. It's similar to the mission setup from Dread, if you're familiar with that one, where, you know, kill X number of cores, then a bigger number, etc. This one has something similar. It's a kill count mission. But it does give you a little background into why you're there and what's going on. So yeah, so that's Kaguya. Something different. Now we can check out the third one. Oh wait. Acheron. So one of the other ones that didn't get a lot of use, and in fairness, it's because it was an experimental starter, was Share, which was a dry desert starter. So we've replaced Share with Acheron, which is just a straight up desert starter. This one, the sort of narrative behind it is that it was home to a fledgling colony that was wiped out by a warlord. And so what remains are, you'll find the occasional remnant POI from the colony. You'll also find things that are home to bandits, raiders, marauders, people that are still here, using the desert as a home or a home base. Trying to find something cool. So you'll also find some of these. Oh, that's not what I was looking for. Dang it. Here we go. So some of them are as simple as this, a little entrance into a bunker where there's some stuff you'll find that you can use. It's a balance of risk reward because you're going to find warlord faction enemies on this planet everywhere. Hunters, snipers, whatever. Every POI will be a judgment between, do I need the resources in there to survive? Can I survive fighting these guys? And that kind of survival element. I've preloaded a lot of the boxes in these different things, even the smallest POIs, with some stuff, basic survival gear, to supplement the fact that you're in a desert. There are biomes in this desert that have food items. So before anyone comes to me and complains they can't find food, there it is. It exists. It's just hard to find, but it is there.
It's a mirage.
Yeah. Trying to find. There we go.
Dan says there's your one food. Good luck.
Yeah. So this is one of the
Goes.
POIs from the colony that's been basically eaten away and devoured by the sands. So it's like a CV POI that you can dig out, and there'll be stuff in there that you can use. Each one's different. Some of them have, a shield generator or generator block. Some of them have alien containers. Some of them might have hostile aliens in them. Just different things that you can find. There's also a pirate presence on these planets that's kind of small. The only real industry left on the planet are pirate faction who are currently using sky miners to strip the last few resources from the planet. So those are pirate sky miners with a tender that are there to be fought by you. The tenders, the little tiny things, they're flying around. The actual miners, those are admin core, because that's a whole beam tower of Xeno blocks that I felt like it was a bit of a giveaway if it wasn't admin core. Apologize in advance. But the floating CV in the middle, that is not admin core. You can totally take that out if you want and get the resources if you want to fight it. And that follows a theme with these starters. When I was crafting them, I was thinking about what my biggest problem with the existing starters is, and that's that there is a huge jump from when you first land and what you can do to the top tier of what is on there, which is normally a shielded drone base with shielded POIs around it from Xerax. By the time you have the resources to take that out, you have the resources to have already left. So there's really no point in having that there, in my view. So when I was making these starters, I wanted to include a lot of POIs that were unshielded, that were low level, that were approachable. On every one, you'll find something you can take out without having any armor, without having any weapons. You can do it with a survival tool. And I say that because I have tested them with a survival tool and no armor. So there's stuff you may not, it'll be the first thing you find. But if you look, there are things that you can tackle that have resources in them very early on, because I like the combat side of this. I just don't like when it's imbalanced. So I wanted to offer people the opportunity to just dive right into combat if they want, by finding some different levels of stuff. So that's Acheron. Now there's one more starter that I'm currently still working on. It's not done yet. I'm not sure if I can even sector to it because I don't know the name. I haven't even renamed it yet. But I am... Okay, let's see here. Okay. The other one that was primed to be replaced in my book was Rogue. There are 2 Rogue starters, right? And they rarely get used because people hate them. They love to hate them. They're great starters. They have an awesome mission at the beginning, but they're really, really hard punishing planets after that. And for a lot of people, it's sort of like a do it once just to say you did it kind of a thing. I'm one of those people who loves the first part of that mission, but can't really stomach surviving on a rogue planet after that. So what I'm working on right now is a new planet type where you have the crash transport mission. You'll start in the Xerax crash transport, prison escape. All of that's still there. But once you get out of the crash transport, you're on a totally alien world, which I'm still in the process of crafting. And you will find that it is inhabited by the Creel, which are an enemy that is totally unutilized right now. And I wanted to kind of explore them a little bit with this starter. So I've made a number of new Creel POIs, again, that are starter level, that you can attack without any gear. Or I guess with the gear you'll have when you exit the prison escape transport thing. There's one of the Creel walking right now out in the grass. And just give a new setting. So this is a Creel planet. My thought was the Creel are who shot down your Xerax prison transport because they hate each other. And it's some new planets and new POIs to explore. This is one of the ones that I made that's actually a pit. Let's see if I can find another one. Here we go. There's a better one to look at. So this is called a Horde, and it's a POI that goes down into the earth. But you'll notice there's no large turrets protecting it. So you could approach this with gear on your back and armor, and you can take out the sentries and take out the on-foot guys and loot it and use that to progress through actual combat.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so something different. I took some of Jay's stuff. So there's a lot of existing Creel POIs, but they're all like top tier. So like this one, I took and cut the top off of one of those J POIs and turned it into a micro POI. There's a lot of these on this planet. Why Do You Want to Know is currently making a brand new Creel POI that's small like this for people. Again, to make it more approachable. These are still protected by turrets and stuff, so you still have to contend with them, but most of them are not shielded, so you don't have to deal with that. Just trying, again, to provide some different experiences, some rebalances to make it more approachable for people early on before they just escape. Also, the planet itself has food, it has oxygen, it's not as hostile as Rogue. You can actually survive here. It will all still, like Rogue was intended, have the blueprint factory disabled. It does for the moons, it does for space, it does for the planet. So you're still going to be fighting the blueprint factory. That's really the only thing you'll be fighting, though. The prison escape is a lot of fun if you've never tried it. This is your chance to try it and then have a kind of normal starter experience after. which I think is a lot of fun. I've only done one test run of this so far, so it's still kind of rough. The planet itself, I'm still tweaking. Some of the biomes are getting changed, the water level of the oceans, that kind of stuff. The spawn rates right now, you can see I have a ton. If you look in the distance, I have a ton of those plant protein things. I got to reduce that kind of stuff. But I'm getting closer. I hope to be done with this one in the next couple of days. And then I'll be able to turn and focus on making tweaks to the existing blade OPVs and all that stuff. So we're getting close to being done with the content side of this, which is great because that gets us closer to testing on a live server. So that's what I've been working on. 4 new starter planets for you guys. You are
All right, crazy guy.
you
That's
guys
insane,
are
man.
you guys are the test group. We talked about this, like with the scrapyard stuff. I talked to Raven, and we all kind of agreed as the admin team. I talked to Raven. He's totally interested in checking these out. So you guys are kind of like the test group for these starters. So any feedback you can give us is fantastic, because these might end up being added to RE generally as some new starters if he likes them, if he wants to use them. We've offered them up to him after we run them on season 7 and get some feedback from you guys. So you're sort of like the beta testers of these starter planets.
Guinea hamsters.
Yes. There's another one of the ones I made. And like, this is one of the things I have to change still. So you can see it spawning on that biome that has the weird glowy green stuff. I don't like that. So I have to reduce some settings and stuff so it won't spawn there. It'll only spawn on the dirt that makes it look good, because the glowing green stuff I think looks kind of weird. So that's the kind of tweaking I have left to do. Minor stuff. But yeah, lots and lots of new content for everybody. Hopefully people enjoy them.
So cool, man. So cool. Big hype in the chat. Content admin team putting in insane amount of work to yeah, I mean, just nuts. I didn't even realize it was this much work till I'm seeing all this. So that's insane, dude. Big props.
But that's how we always do it. We always
I
keep
know.
him the
No, and I appreciate that. I honestly do, because yeah.
And I'm not, I've been working on this for a while, so it's not like I cranked these out like in a week. I started working this mid-July.
Yeah.
And just been going ever since, doing nothing but starter planets.
Yeah, and that's what I like. What's happened with Anvil too is that there's people that like doing different things. There's people that are passionate about different aspects of the game. Sometimes it's on the back end, sometimes it's making content like this, and it's cool that as a community we have that space for everybody to kind of flex and do what they enjoy doing in the game. So very cool.
This is another one that I took and cut the top off of something else and turned it into a POI.
Wow.
Again, I loved the way that Jay styled these things, and I wanted them featured. And the only way you can see Creel right now in RE is to go to a far off place. And I thought this was the perfect way to showcase some of his work. And
thank you, sir.
so I turned some of his stuff into little micro POIs. So
That looks cool,
hoping he
man.
doesn't mind.
I don't think he's gonna mind, bro.
Okay. And some of it I just changed, like the weapons. Like this originally had alien turrets on it. I changed them to a couple of lasers and a plasma turret. Pretty minor little tweaks. But it's Jay's artistry there, which I thought would be cool to feature.
Yeah, for sure.
This planet's kind of dark.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the atmospherics of the dark planet, but you gotta be able to see stuff.
Do you?
There we go. That's a little better. It was nighttime. This is daytime. That's bright enough. That's bright enough. You can see. This is one of his that I just made subtle modifications to. My game's frozen now. So here we go. So just reducing turret counts and stuff. Again, just trying to make it accessible. That was the goal. I wanted scaled POIs so that you could get at this stuff from the get-go or from earlier.
Damn.
So yeah, that's all I got with Starter Planets. Yeah.
Very cool, man. Very cool. That's exciting. I definitely will be starting on one of these new planets, and I have an idea which one, but we'll see.
Oh, I didn't mention. So again, back to missions. So Elysium has no missions. That's the tropical one. Kaguya, the boreal one, it has custom mission that's basic. Acheron has no missions. That's the desert one. And then this one will have the prison escape mission. Same as Rogue. Same mission, same POIs setup. It's just a different underlying planet. So,
Okay.
yeah. Yep. And one thing I will probably end up doing is posting a little brief description of each one, since you guys won't get a chance to pre-test these. Well, a lot of people like to
Right.
pre-practice a run, on a planet before the season start. So I can do a little brief, description of what they're getting into so that people don't get surprised, I guess.
Right.
So look for that closer to the launch of the season when we do the starter poll.
What I would love to even go a step further. I'm not sure if this is possible, but it would be really cool if one of our content creators in the community would get together with you, and then if he can have access to use the starter planets to maybe make like a cool little like brief trailer of each starter.
Well, we have several who are admins.
Yeah.
So Ice Wolfen or Script or not Script, Ice Wolfen or Buko or Jen, any of them. They're all streamers. They
that
can
would
do
be
it.
awesome. Yeah, that'd be awesome opportunity to make content. Like somebody that does maybe YouTube or something, so it could benefit their YouTube channel. But at the same time, like to show off the starters in kind of a trailer form, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, because the Elysium, Acheron, and Kaguya, they're all in the current version of Project A, which all the admins need access to be able to test this stuff. So all the current admins have access to them right now. This current one we're looking at is just on my copy right now. I haven't finished it, but it should be available for them soon, early next week. I'm hoping to share it with Darkest, and then he'll get it added and updated.
Nice. Very cool. So let's see. We've gone over. What haven't we gone over?
War in Industry, which isn't us, but that's going to be in there too for season 7.
Mm-hmm.
And War in Industry looks like an amazing update from Raven. Wind power, geothermal power coming to bases. We're going to have new trade sectors, new trade stations, new trading missions for bulk trades to make bulk money. There's going to be new combat sites, all kinds of new stuff coming. It's a pretty beefy update. And that will all be integrated with Project A for season 7.
Very
Sounds
nice.
like do it.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, I think season 7 is going to be a good one.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I think with the factory stuff too, I think it's going to be a lot of fun to kind of build some new stuff. That's what I'm kind of doing literally as we're speaking right now. Trying to figure this out so that prepared for season 7, that the builds are prepared and stuff like that. But yeah, being able to play around with the different power systems and stuff will be interesting. Maybe more people will build bases and stuff. Even to start, just to kind of get going. I don't know.
I definitely plan on building some planet bases now that we've got reliable power.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
And it sounds like he was saying that the geothermal side, it's not just lava planets, it's any geologically active planet. So frozen inferno, plasma,
Oh wow,
volcanic.
okay.
Yeah, all of the ones that have that going on,
Very
you
nice.
can use it. So, and then the other ones you can use the wind power on, which is cool.
Yeah. I'm excited. That'd be good. Build like a new starter base, and yeah, it could be fun. What else? There's something we're forgetting.
You mentioned that CB multi-turrets work on planets now. Mentioned SVs get clone chambers.
Did we mention that?
Yes.
Okay.
It was when you were playing around with your keyboard.
Oh, okay. I was playing. um. Yeah, which will be cool. I mean, honestly, like that's just even more. I mean, with the extended warp capabilities of SVs on our server, as well as now being able to use it as a spawn point. I mean, that's such a that's an easy way off the starter planet for sure. I mean, and even
Oh,
just extended long. I mean, Life Force is probably freaking super hype now.
Garriman mentioned that too. So one other thing that's coming that's kind of cool with the RE update is warning turrets that you can put on the front, back, wherever of your ship. And basically, when they detect an enemy within range, they produce an audible sound, so you have an alert to tell you when you're
Ooh.
under attack, which is kind of cool.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, so that's a new thing that Raven came up with. It's going to be awesome.
That's really cool.
And yes, Garriman SVs will still have base 15 light year range. Did we increase the fuel efficiency on those to 4?
No,
Okay.
we have not.
Did you guys
Okay.
announce the furnace thing?
That
What?
furnace is our base only and staying that way.
That was a
Okay.
nice attempt, though. That was a good
Damn it.
try.
All right.
You give X CV salvaging turrets on planet, and he wants everything.
Well, he's Mr. All the Things on all the things. He's got to.
Yeah. I mean, listen, with this game and just seeing how there's, look at like Crazy Z and building his crazy, like extravagant luxury mountain base, and then me who doesn't really use bases. It's like people form their own usefulness of a certain vessel. So I just, as much as people say like, oh, if we do this with SVs, then nobody will use HVs. Like, I don't believe that. I think there's people that have always used HVs regardless of what other vessels have the same function. And like me, I don't like attacking ground POIs with an SV. I think it's boring. I prefer HVs to attack bases and stuff. And it's just it's up to preference at the end of the day. But being able to a lot of line with Space Engineers, just being able to do anything with anything kind of makes the game a lot more interesting. The fact that I could put drills on my base and start mining the ground with a base is I don't know. I just think that's cool. I don't see that we have to put people in a little box to direct them how to play the game when it's open world and freedom and
So, did anyone have any questions? About anything?
questions. Let's go.
Awesome. Did Darkest or Daedric, did you guys anything else that you want to talk about?
There's a question that came up here. The overall theme for the season is Scorched Earth. So it's a continuation of the Civil War theme from season 6, but I guess the short summary of it is the Blade Collective has been overtaking Anvil, and now we see what happens. That pretty much cover it there, Philbert.
Yeah, and I'll have like I said, I'll have a newsletter, whatever thing coming out. Oh, I did want to talk about that real quick. So I did those newsletter things, newspaper things. I don't know, they're kind of silly.
The Andromeda is, come on,
We're
pronounce
great.
it
Andromeda
correctly. It's
Galactic
awesome.
News.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
great.
Um, so I was doing those for a bit every week. I won't be doing that this time, but I will make them as I see, a need for it. As I see stories and stuff. Also, to anybody who sent me, quote unquote news tips last season, um, please do not be offended if I chopped up your story and reworded it and put it in my own voice onto the thing. It's not a commentary on your writing ability. It's simply a commentary on the volume of words I have available to me to tell the story. Because it's a very small clip that you can fit in those little boxes on that format. So it has to be really, really condensed. I really like it when you guys send me the whole big narrative thing, multiple paragraphs and a dozen pictures and all that. That helps because I can pick and choose and I can kind of tell what you've sent me. And I'm still looking for that when we get into the season. No, they don't, Stan. No, they don't. Single page only. So if you guys come across something happens when you're playing, feel free to send me a tip. Write it up however you want. You can just tell me in base language. You can write it up like a story if you want. I had a few people do that. I will try to make use. In pictures. Yeah, I can make use of pictures. When you take a picture, though, make sure that you turn your HUD off. I had a few people send me pictures that had their HUD on there. I'm not a Photoshop wizard, so I can't use those.
F6
So be sure to,
guys.
F6 your HUD away when you take a picture if you want it submitted for the newsletter thing. And I will be releasing one newsletter right when the season starts, like that day or the day before, to kind of give a little RP background of what happened, why we're fighting the Blade Collective still when it looked like we were winning. And there is a reason for that. So more to come there. And like I said, every other week or however it works out, the newspaper thing will still be going. Shantel, the tentative start date is the 29th of September, but that is subject to any number of things that could happen in testing and server prep and everything else. So it's subject to change, but tentatively it is the 29th of September for season 7.
We still
No,
have not one commando now.
we have not. I mean, I can tell you the bulk of it right now. I can still write it up, but I don't know if people care that much.
Yeah.
I thought it was just going to be like, okay, so basically, the Blade Collective that we thought we were winning against had been building up in secret in a different part of the galaxy. They've been hiding in legacy space, basically, building up out there in the far regions of dangerous space. They managed to build an entire fleet of ships, and in their resurgent power, returned
I thought you were
and
gonna say
pushed
Star
us
Killer
back.
Base. I got scared.
No,
Okay.
no, my name is not JJ. So they are resurgent. They returned with their extra forces that we did not anticipate. They pushed us back. They pushed us out of their space. They reduced the size of Anvil space, and they are pushing to wipe us out. That is how we're going to start. I mean, we are on the brink. They have a new ship, a new battle group, new POIs. They have new forces, and we are going to have to work again to defeat them. And it's going to be harder this time than it was last time. I don't know, Daedric, did you talk about your changes to the configs and the settings for the Blade Collective and how they're going to behave and stuff?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, how the OPVs will respond.
Yeah,
Just made me think of that.
we tweak their behavior. They'll engage you from further out now, and they'll chase you for longer.
Yeah, they'll sort of like how Drone Faction works, where you fight a drone faction ship and like the whole sector kind of goes bananas and attacks you. You'll get something more like that now when you fight Blade. You won't be able to pick them off as easily one-on-one. So more aggressive next time.
Yeah.
No. So okay. So sorry, Chan. No, the new ship is probably on par with the battle carrier. It's a cruiser. I don't remember if I called it a cruiser or a heavy cruiser. So it's not as powerful as a dreadnought, but it's another one that tips the spawn pool to the higher end over the lower end, if that makes sense. And the battle group is probably up there closer to a dreadnought that has the new ship in it.
I mean, we're not going to tell you about the turbo dreadnought.
The ultra mecha dreadnought.
The one that you look at and your person just bursts into flames.
Yeah. Oh, and that thing is still going to be, what is that thing called? The Drax Uber Mecha,
The,
whatever dreadnought.
the augmented dread.
Yeah, that thing. That's still going to be on a once a week respawn, so that people can't farm it. Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Just to because I know
Yeah.
people have asked.
That one time we did it with Xcal there, that was ridiculous, and I think there was like what 10 of us.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Now I'm trying to think if there's anything else that was brought up in the suggestions channel or anything else that people mentioned.
I mean, we'll
Furnaces
have
on CV?
we'll have a pre-launch stream as well, guys, that we usually have before the season, where we go over all last-minute things and all that. So we're still talking a month out at least here from the launch. So there'll still be things that change and adjust, and once the RE update happens, who knows from there. So there'll be more information coming out. This is just to we wanted to do this ahead of time so that you guys understand the spacing of time between season 6 and season. Not that it's not that we haven't had this much time in previous seasons or anything. It's just we want you guys to understand, because there are a lot of games coming out right now. There's obviously Starfield just launched. The big Icarus update happened. Space Engineers had some big updates. We're also aware there's other servers in Imperion that people play on and stuff. So we want to give you guys plenty of planning time to get ready for season 7 and show you guys what's to be expected and what you guys can build for. Yeah, Baldur's Gate, tons of other stuff. So that's mainly why we wanted to get together here and let you guys know what's going on. As far as events, there will be events as well. I will say that the event team did a phenomenal job in season 6 with the different events. They were planned out really well. All of them were a lot of fun. All the BMT stuff, it was really cool, and it really aligned with the rest of the scenario and the storyline that we were following with Civil War. So expect more of that to come as well. Obviously there's not a whole lot to put out for the event team, so it's basically just me saying that. But the event team is going to be there for season 7, putting out really meaningful events as well. So the participation was really cool. A lot of people were involved. It was a lot of fun. So more of that. As far as content as well, we will be doing base tours in season 7. I'm going to try to figure out how to do them in a way that everybody gets to participate, and we don't have it quite right. Like, it doesn't work kind of the way it is now, and I want it to work, and I want it to make sense. So I'll let you guys know more about that when we get closer to the season, because I have a different idea for it. Because I know that some people didn't get to do like their final base tours for season 6, and I do apologize for that, but it was more of an alignment issue, and we'll fix all that for season 7. So because we know that people, it is really cool. Otherwise, you would never see some of the really cool stuff that you guys do in the season as well. So we definitely want to see that stuff as a community. So I think that's all the Anvil Let's Talk will be continuing in season 7. I'm going to be trying to make it work a bit more. I'm going to do a lot of work on my end as far as soundboard stuff and just the overall look of the stream. I'm going to do some work in this month to make it look a lot better for you guys, and so I'm gonna be working on that as well. But yeah, I think that's kind of it for now, right? Preliminary information. Is that all? Is that all you guys have?
That's all I
That's
got.
all I had. Yeah.
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 So yeah, more to come, guys. More information to come. But yeah, season 7 is going to be a lot of fun. A lot more custom content from Anvil, and the designers challenges are going to be really cool in the coming months as well. Including this one that you guys are going through right now, which will prepare you for season 7. So that's really cool. You guys will come in kind of knowing what to expect and what you need to do for your builds. And listen, as always, if anybody has any content suggestions, there's a channel for that. Please utilize it. We want to hear everything. If you put it in other channels, sometimes it gets lost in other dialogue. So if you guys have meaningful input for the server, there is also server suggestions. Isn't that a thing?
Yeah.
We have to clean the channels too, guys. So we still have to do that. Season just ended. So at some point here, the admins are going to get together, have a meeting, and clear out channels like we do every season. Clean up.
If I could say something real quick on that.
Yeah.
So with the server suggestions, the best time generally to post in there to affect change is like mid to late part of a season. If you wait until like the day the season starts to post a suggestion, the chances go down that we'll actually be able to do anything about it. Because as you can see, like I started a month and a half ago, a lot of these guys, same thing. We're preparing for the season months in advance of it starting. And it's hard to go in at the last minute and make a big change to the game and have it balance and work and stuff. We try and go back and look through the suggestions channel to see what people suggested back, at the season start, so we don't miss anything. But it really helps to, be thinking about that as you play through the season and make those suggestions for stuff you want to see changed as you're playing, so that it gets in there before the next season starts. Because if you wait until like the day before when you're, waiting for it to go and say, hey, size class limit change, or hey, open up this factory thing or whatever, it's like, okay, that's great. We love it. We can't do that right now. We're already ready to go. So yeah, just be thinking about that. Keep that in mind when you're thinking about making suggestions. Understand, if you wait until then, it's not going to happen then. It would be the next season before we could consider that.
Yeah, for sure. Life Force just joined. What's up, Life Force? You missed it all, man.
Mm-hmm.
Tell Life Force the important thing he wants to hear. Somebody.
Clone chambers on SVs.
There you go,
Size
Life
class.
Force. Yay!
Size class was reduced to 12.
Yeah, I don't know if Inti's here, but preemptive Inti, no, the size class will not be up to 50.
Yeah, so the other thing is CV salvage turrets will work on planet Life Force. That is the other change for season 7, that very build oriented. So. Oh, Life Force saying, is that true? 12? Is that true, or were you joking?
No, they were joking. The
Yeah,
limit is
they're joking, Life
21.49.
They're joking, Life Force. There you go.
Yeah. Calm down. No need to have a heart attack.
Now you could put little George Clooney's in your little SVs there. You're good to go, man. All right, guys, that's it for us. Thanks again to the admin team. Thanks a lot, really, for everybody for the success of season 6. It is now closed as of yesterday, and looking forward to season 7. The Designers Challenge brief is either out or it will be out very, very soon here. Bossman did some hard work getting all the spreadsheets and sub tabs and whatevers to make that happen. Oh, it's out. There you go. So check that out. All the parameters. Definitely read. It's important with this challenge because it's a very technical challenge, but it's a good learning experience for everybody moving forward with this scenario. And is that a thing in vanilla? I don't know. But yeah, that's it. I think that's all we got, guys. tomorrow, I don't know what's going on. Monday, me and Jay are continuing in Space Engineers, building our base. And I am, what you see in front of you is me working on the challenge as well. So I am working on a new starter CV that I can deploy, much like the Janus, which you can see over yonder, that I'm using as a reference because it is a very, very good build. That's it's awesome, right? So definitely something like that that we're going to be looking at that adheres to all the skill point unlocks and whatnot. And I hope to see some really cool stuff from you guys for the month of September. And I guess that's it. Have fun preparing. Have fun in Starfield and Baldur's Gate, I guess, and other games you guys are playing. Other weird games. Life Force has a Janus in the works. Nice. It's such a cool way to do it, and I'm excited to see all the stuff you guys do for sure. So, thanks again, Filbert, Dadrick, Bossman, Darkest. Nobody else is in here. Is Perrin here?
I don't think so.
Nobody else is here.
Nope, just us.
That's it. All right, cool. Very nice.
My next
stuff.
month is going to be consumed by Empyreon and Starfield.
Starfield!
I'm saving Starfield until I finish season 7.
You'll never be finished.
Yeah, you go play some Starfield, man. It's one of
I'm
those
gonna
games
wait.
that you could just literally yeah. I mean,
Well,
I
I
don't
plan
know.
on like diving into it and not doing anything else when I do. It's not
Oh.
gonna finish all the season 7 stuff. So after I get through that and play through a bit of the season, that's when I'll get into Starfield.
Well, I mean, listen, we could start season 7 October 29th and give you, we could do that. What do you
No,
think?
Oh,
no,
why
You
don't we
wanna do
just
that?
bump it to Christmas?
no.
Christmas! Let's go!
Well,
Christmas
and-
launch.
My harvest season starts like right when season 7 starts, so I'm gonna have a hard time playing anyway.
You're still streaming XCal, so
I know,
everybody heard October,
I know.
December.
Oh, no.
I know.
stream.
I
Go
do
stream.
these things on purpose. They know that. They know I'm joking. It's all good, guys. We'll probably start on sometime soon. It'll be good. Until then, Starfield, where you can't fly the ship, but it looks cool. But you could kind of fly it in orbit, sort of. It's cool. It's a cool game. It is a cool game. I'll give it that. But yeah, you could totally. I mean, totally is a strong word. You could fly it. That's a strong word, though. It's a
Mobile house.
It's like a, I don't know. What would you compare it to? Like No Man's Sky, maybe?
It's like an RV.
Yeah.
It's a mobile house.
It's basically Fallout 4 in space.
You say that like it's a bad thing, though.
It's not, but Fallout 4 wasn't for everyone.
That's true.
If I can't get in there and with a wrench and change the oil on my engines and stuff, then meh.
Don't compare it to No Man's Sky, though. I don't. That game is like
Well,
Pokemon Snap in space.
you're right. I mean, it has, okay, so you can go in the ship and you can. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. I guess it's like Star Citizen, but just without, with cutscenes. I guess. I don't know. That threw me off. Like the whole, I thought I was going to fly into the planet, and then it's like, do you want to go to here? And I'm like, I mean, yeah. And then I was there, and I'm like, wait. Do you want to? I don't know. I get it though. I get it as far as an RPG because Star Citizen, it is pretty annoying to have to take an hour and a half to get off a planet. That does kind of suck. After the 5th time.
Yikes.
Oh, it's rough. Dude. If it doesn't glitch, and I give it an hour and a half because usually shenanigans, right? The elevator doesn't work. Something doesn't work. But, realistically, if everything is great, it takes at least 20 minutes to get off a planet. And that's including getting out of Atmos. Like, it takes a long time, actually. It's not. And it's
But in
realistic.
Star Citizen, can you put a bucket on someone's head?
Mm-hmm. I haven't tried that yet,
You can
but
do
now
that
that
in
you mention that,
Starfield. Just saying.
can
We
you?
know what the game's really about. Oh yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
people posting pictures of it.
Oh my god.
But you
You can
can't.
do
It
that.
is.
You can do
It
that in all
runs
those
well.
games. All
It
those
runs
Bethesda
really
games
well.
are like that.
I wasn't sure if they would put that in this game, but that's
Yeah, you can
hilarious.
like pick up cups and put them on people and stuff. Yeah, it's classic Bethesda.
Dude, I have at least 50 pencil holders in my inventory.
Ah, there you go. You're rich.
I have all the pencil holders, dude. It's amazing. Nobody can have my pencil holders.
I'm just making my fortunes by massacring pirates and then selling all their guns off.
Oh my god, and their suits and stuff? Yeah, dude. So many suits.
There's not enough space for it all.
No. No, I need like 3 of those droids.
Yeah.
And then that interface is annoying though. I wish
Yeah.
I wish you could have them automatically put everything in the hold instead of you having to retake it back and then put it in the hold.
Yeah, the UI's a mess, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's annoying. Like they should just automatically dump in ship when they get there.